He was released from prison, not once, but twice, and each time the bodies kept turning up. He killed in silence. He disappeared into the crowd, sometimes too quiet to hear, sometimes too brazen to ignore. This man is linked to at least a dozen homicides, possibly more than 20, of women across Colorado in the 1970s and 80s, and for nearly 4 decades, many of those cases remained unsolved. Tonight on Red Case File, Vincent Groves, the killer who kept coming back. Vincent Darrell Groves was born in Denver in 1954, a promising athlete, a high school basketball star, but something changed. He dropped out of college, drifted back to Denver, found work, but also found the streets, the hidden world of vulnerable women, drug trade, and the forgotten margins of society. Between 1978 and 1988, Groves' path crossed with dozens of women. Some were sex workers, some were acquaintances, all were targets, easy to overlook until it was too late. His earliest confirmed killing dates back to March 1978. Through meticulous forensic work decades later, this killing and others like Joyce Rainey and Peggy Cuff in 1979 were linked to Groves via DNA. In 1981, he murdered Tammy Sue Woodrum, 17, while on a camping trip. At first, he turned himself in, claiming she'd overdosed, but the autopsy proved otherwise. She'd been raped, strangled, left to die. For that, he was convicted in 1982 of second-degree murder and sentenced to 12 years. 12 years for rape and murder. He served less than 5 years and was released on mandatory parole in 1987. This is where the story takes a dark turn. While free and unmonitored like he should never have been, Vincent Groves continued his spree. Investigators later suspected he may have committed up to 20 homicides across Colorado during this renewed period of freedom. Bodies found along alleys, fields, and highways. Young women, vulnerable, alone, unknown to the world, all with chilling similarities. Strangulation, targeting sex workers, victims who wouldn't be missed right away. Groves wasn't caught again until 1988, after the survival and testimony of a victim. She identified his car, a crucial break, and officers finally tracked him down. By 1990, he was convicted of Juanita Lovato's murder and later Diane Montoya Mancera's death. He was sentenced, finally, to life in prison plus decades more. But even then, authorities suspected he was responsible for far more bodies than the handful he was formally convicted of killing. The problem, no DNA technology sophisticated enough to prove it. Not yet. Now, here is the part that makes this story explode. In December 2024, investigators reopened a nearly 40-year-old cold case, the Rhonda Marie Fisher murder from April 1, 1987. Rhonda was 28 years old, found dead in Denver. Her hands had been covered in paper bags at the scene, a bizarre detail, but one that would prove crucial. Those paper bags preserved DNA evidence for nearly 4 decades. When detectives re-examined that evidence with modern DNA profiling, the results were clear and chilling. Vincent Groves' DNA was found, and it matched evidence in multiple other killings. This wasn't coincidence. This was confirmation that Groves was not just a murderer. He was one of Colorado's most prolific serial killers. But because Groves died in prison in 1996 from complications of liver disease and hepatitis C, he can never be prosecuted again. Justice came, but it came too late. Vincent Groves slipped in and out of justice. He was freed too soon. He walked among the unsuspecting. He struck again and again. For years, families wondered, communities grieved, and the killer's name faded until DNA brought him back into the light. But how many victims are still unnamed? How many cold files hold their secrets in dusty drawers? And did the system, the parole board, the police, the courts, fail them all? In Episode 2, we follow the victims' stories, the patterns, and the chilling method Groves used to lure, trap, and kill.